Pocket change detectives, welcome back to the channel where we dig through dimes, penny pinch our way to profits, and occasionally strike gold with quarters. If you're new here, buckle up, because today we're talking about a coin that might be sitting in your junk drawer, your glove compartment, or even jingling in your grandpa's pants pocket. I am talking about the legendary bicentennial quarter, the 1776 to 1976 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. And get this, one version of this iconic coin is currently worth a jaw-dropping $732,000. Yep, you heard that right, that's almost $750,000 for a quarter that once bought a gumball. Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions looking for lost treasure, let's break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot a rare one, and how a simple trip to the grocery store turned into one of my most ridiculous coin finds ever. Let's set the stage. The year is 1976. Disco is alive and well, bell bottoms are swinging in the breeze, and America is throwing a 200-year birthday party. And what better way to celebrate than by minting special quarters? These bicentennial quarters featured a reverse design showing a colonial drummer boy facing left with a victory torch encircled by 13 stars behind him. It was patriotic, nostalgic, and let's be honest, just plain cool. And because it was such a special occasion, these quarters got a little extra attention. Now, the one we're talking about today has the D Mint mark, meaning it was struck in Denver and not Philadelphia or San Francisco. Denver minted a lot of these, like hundreds of millions, but here's the kicker, not all of them are created equal. So how the heck does a quarter go from buying a candy bar to being worth more than a Lamborghini? Well, it's all about errors, rarity, and condition. The most valuable bicentennial quarter with the D Mint mark has what collectors call a dramatic double die strike on both the obverse and reverse, plus it's in pristine condition. We're talking MS67 or higher, which means no scratches, no wear, and definitely no one trying to open a soda can with it. Another kicker, this particular quarter was struck on a 40% silver planchet by mistake. These planchets were meant for special collector's editions, but somehow a few slipped into general circulation. That's like accidentally putting truffles in your McNuggets bucket. So when you combine a rare silver planchet with an insane error in near perfect condition, boom, you've got yourself a $732,000 quarter. Alright, so now you're probably wondering what to look for when you dig through your change. First, grab a magnifying glass. Trust me, your eyes at 40 aren't what they were at 20. Next, check for that D Mint mark right under Washington's ponytail. If it's there, great. Step 2, flip the coin and check the reverse for crisp details. That drummer boy should be looking like he's about to lead the Continental Army into battle, not like he just woke up from a nap. Then look for any doubling in the text, Liberty in God We Trust, or the dates. That's where the money is. The stronger and clearer the doubling, the higher the value. And if your quarter looks silver instead of the usual clad grayish tone, you might just have one of the silver planchet versions. That's when it's time to get it professionally graded. Don't go throwing it in a vending machine for a bag of stale pretzels. Let me tell you a quick story that proves lightning really can strike twice. So a few years back, I was at the local grocery store buying my usual whole milk eggs and a king-size candy bar, because you know life is about balance anyway. The cashier handed me my change, and something about one of the quarters just felt off. It had this shine, this weight, this aura, like it knew it was special. I tossed it in my pocket, thought nothing of it, and later that night I pulled it out under a lamp, and wouldn't you know it was a 1776 to 1976 D quarter with a slightly thicker rim and a way shinier surface than the rest of my coins. I took it to a local coin shop. They looked at it, weighted, and told me it was struck on a silver planchet. It wasn't the ultra rare error version, but it was still worth a few $100. Not bad for buying eggs and candy, right? So how do you give yourself the best shot at finding one of these mega valuable quarters? First, check every quarter you come across. Get in the habit of flipping them, inspecting them, and maybe annoying your cashier just a little. Second, get a decent coin magnifier. Nothing fancy, but something better than your phone camera. It makes all the difference when you're checking for doubling or fine details. Third, store potential finds in a soft cloth or plastic sleeve. Don't just let them clink around in your pocket with your car keys. And finally, if you think you found something special, get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to unlock the real market value of your coin. Don't trust your cousin Dave, who once sold a Beanie Baby for $20. He's not an expert. So there you have it, folks. The 1776 to 1976 D Washington quarter dollar might seem like just another old coin, but in the right condition with the right quirks, it could be your ticket to an early retirement, or at least to a vacation somewhere warmer than your garage. Remember, coins are more than just loose change. They're tiny little lottery tickets hiding in plain sight, and all it takes is a little time, a good eye, and a lot of curiosity. If you liked today's dive into the world of valuable quarters, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you never miss a coin tip, and drop a comment if you've ever found anything rare in your change. I read every single one, and trust me, some of y'all have better luck than a leprechaun at a 4-leaf clover festival. Hey folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your spare change? I mean, really looked at it? Most of us just toss quarters into a jar, or worse, let them rattle around under the car seat until they start a new civilization. But what if I told you that one of those dusty old coins could be worth nearly $900,000? That's right, 872 grand for a little metal disc you might have used to buy a soda back in the 90s. Today, we're talking about one very sneaky coin, the 1993 D Washington quarter. Sounds normal, right? Just a regular OL quarter? Wrong. This baby has been turning heads in the coin collecting world, and for good reason now. Before you run off flipping every coin in your couch cushions, stick with me. Because I'm gonna break down why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can tell if your 1993 D quarter is just a quarter or a life-changing jackpot. Plus, I've got a hilarious story about how I nearly spent one of these bad boys on a candy bar. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but it was close. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glass or your reading glasses, and let's get into the juicy world of coin collecting, one quarter at a time. Alright, so first things first, what the heck makes the 1993 D Washington quarter worth $872,000? Well, it ain't just the date or the fact that it has a little D on it, which means it was minted in Denver. No, what we're dealing with here is a rare error coin. Specifically, the high-value versions of this coin tend to have one or more of the following issues, where the coin has doubling on the lettering or the image. It's like the coin had too much coffee and couldn't sit still during minting. Where the design isn't printed dead center, giving it a lopsided, almost Picasso-like vibe. Imagine the coin getting a haircut on the edge, missing metal that happened during production, mint luster and uncirculated condition. The big bucks are usually reserved for coins that look brand new, like they were just spit out of the mint yesterday. Combine any of those errors with a coin from a lower production year, and boom, you've got something worth enough to pay off your mortgage and still buy a truck. Now here's the twist. Not every 1993 D quarter is gonna get you rich. Most are worth 25 cents. Maybe a buck or two if they're in perfect shape. But the rare gems, the ones with just the right combination of error, condition, and rarity, those are the ones that go for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction, and folks, those auctions get wild. I saw one guy in a Hawaiian shirt drop $300K on a quarter without flinching. I don't know what he does for a living, but I want in and out. Here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was cleaning out a junk drawer, the one full of batteries that don't work, rubber bands, and receipts from 2004. I found this shiny quarter just sitting there, and for some reason, I didn't throw it back into the change jar. It looked weird. I mean, it was a 1993 D quarter, but something about it caught my eye. The rim looked a little off, and there was this odd doubling on the word Liberty. At the time, I thought, must be a bad stamping. Oh well. Fast forward to later that day, I'm at a gas station. I grab a candy bar, Snickers, of course, and I reach into my pocket. That same quarter is in my hand, ready to be sacrificed for 250 calories of nougat and regret, but something stopped me. Maybe it was divine intervention. Maybe it was the sugar rush I was about to get. But I didn't spend that quarter. I stuck it back in my pocket and forgot about it, until I saw a news article about rare quarters and saw a photo that looked exactly like mine. Long story short, I got it appraised. Turned out, it wasn't worth the full $872,000, but it was still a $4,200 coin. That's one expensive candy bar, and the closest I've ever come to selling my retirement plan for peanuts and caramel. Alright, so now you're probably itching to go through your stash. Let's go over a quick checklist of what to look for. Grab a magnifier and check for doubling on letters like Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Doubling is money. Any odd cuts, clips, or flat areas could mean your coin is mistruck. If it looks shiny enough to blind you under a lamp, you might have something special. The less it looks like it's been in a washing machine, the better. Some error coins were struck on the wrong planchets. If it weighs more or less than 5.67 grams, you may be onto something. Now, don't freak out if you don't have a rare one right away. The fun part is the hunt. It's like treasure hunting but without the pirates. Unless you count the eBay resellers. A good place to start, but don't sell it just yet. Get a second opinion. Like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify your coin and give it a grade from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more zeros on your paycheck. There are great communities like CoinTalk and Reddits or /coins where folks will help you out. Just be careful of the keyboard know-it-alls. Once you've confirmed you've got a winner, that's when you can start thinking auctions or private sales. And let me tell ya, selling a coin for nearly 900 grand is a pretty good feeling. Not quite winning the lottery good, but definitely better than finding a 10 in your jeans. So, there you have it, folks. The humble 1993 D quarter sitting in your car cup holder, your change jar, or maybe even that dusty drawer in your kitchen could be worth up to $872,000. That's no joke. That's new house money. That's early retirement money. That's finally buy that boat and name it Coinzilla money. The point is, coin collecting isn't just for old guys with monocles anymore. It's fun, it's exciting, and sometimes, it's extremely profitable. And who doesn't love the idea of making money without having to invent an app or start a podcast? Now, before you run off to dig through your sock drawer, do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Hit the bell so you never miss out on another hidden treasure tip. I've got more videos coming your way covering coins worth millions, collecting strategies, and hilarious stories from the wild world of numismatics. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird coin, or if you have a story about almost spending a fortune without realizing it. Let's share the laughs, the finds, and the riches. Thanks for watching, good luck treasure hunting, and remember, hey there, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and people who've accidentally dropped quarters between the couch cushions since 1987. Grab your coffee, your magnifying glass, and maybe even your lucky coin pouch, because today, we're diving into a little piece of metal that's worth way more than you'd expect. I'm talking about a 1992 P. Washington quarter. Yep, the old George Washington face, Philly mint, just sitting pretty possibly in your pocket change right now, and this baby can be worth up to $819,000. That's right. A quarter, worth more than a brand new Ferrari, a beach house, and maybe even your ex's forgiveness. But before you go flipping over your couch and digging in your car's cup holder, stick around because we're going to break it all down. What makes this specific 1992 P quarter worth a small fortune? What should you be looking for? And how do you avoid getting swindled at a coin shop that smells like 1973? Oh, and I've got a personal story that involves an old tackle box, a very grumpy grandpa, and the best 50 cents I ever spent. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The 1992 P. Washington quarter came out of the Philadelphia Mint, and millions were made. You might be thinking, well, if millions were made, how on earth could just one be worth over 800 grand? Great question. The value doesn't come from the fact that it exists, it comes from how rare and unique a specific variety of this quarter is. We're talking about what collectors call a transitional error. That's a fancy way of saying the mint messed up. And when the mint messes up in just the right way? Oh boy, that's music to a collector's ears. The mint was transitioning between different types of coin designs, specifically, the proof coin dies. Some of these proof-style dies accidentally made it into the regular minting process. That means a few lucky quarters were printed with a design that shouldn't have been used on a regular business strike coin. Imagine working a factory line, you're half awake, had too many tacos the night before, and boom, you used the wrong part. That's basically what happened. But instead of getting yelled at by your supervisor, someone created a goldmine. These special quarters are now known as 1992 P close AM quarters. And this close AM thing? It's a reference to the spacing between the letters A and M and the word America on the back of the coin. Yeah, it's that small of a detail, but that's where the treasure lies. Most regular quarters from that year have a little space between the A and M. But the error quarters have them almost touching, just like your thighs after chasing the ice cream truck in July. When collectors see that close AM, they start drooling. Now you're probably wondering, okay, a spacing error, big deal. How does that turn into nearly $1 million? Well, first, scarcity. Only a few of these close AM errors were ever made, and even fewer have survived without being scratched up in somebody's change jar or rolling around the floor of a laundromat. Second, condition. If your coin is in near perfect condition, meaning shiny, crisp details, not bent or scratched, it can be graded highly by professional coin grading services. One of these beauties, graded MS67, that's Mint State 67, which is near flawless, went for over $819,000 at auction. I know what you're thinking. You've got a sock drawer full of quarters right now. You're ready to retire, but hold on, we've got some coin inspection. Here's what you want to do. Get a good magnifying glass, or just borrow your cousin's jeweler's loupe. Flip that 1992 P quarter over and look at the word America. Are the A and M practically touching? You might have a winner, and while you're at it, check for a sharp, crisp detail around the letters and the eagle's feathers. You're looking for that proof-style polish and precision. If you think you've got the close AM, don't go showing it off on Facebook Marketplace. Get it graded. I repeat, get it graded. Use services like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, it'll cost you a bit, but it'll also protect your wallet from some shady buyer offering you a whole $10 for something worth a sports car. Alright, let me tell you about the time I accidentally found my most valuable coin. I was over at my grandpa's house helping clean out the garage. He had this old metal tackle box filled with screws, bottle caps, a peanut that may have been from the 80s, and about 50 coins, all covered in dust. I wiped one off and noticed it was a quarter. Nothing special. Until I saw the mint mark, 1992p. Just for fun, I looked it over with my magnifier in BAM, close AM. Now, I didn't get $819,000 for it, mine was a little scratched up, but I did sell it for a couple $1,000s. And let me tell you, best garage cleanout I ever did. He said I could keep it. Then asked if I wanted to clean the attic next. While we're on the subject, keep your eyes peeled for the 1992D Close AM version 2. That's from the Denver Mint and has the same kind of error. And if you find one in top condition, you might be looking at six figures easy. Also, check for any coins that look a little off. Misstrikes, off-center prints, doubled dies, you name it. Collectors love quirks, and so does your wallet. Alright folks, if you've made it this far, you are now officially smarter than 97% of the population when it comes to spotting a quarter worth more than most people's houses. Look for the 1992p Washington quarter with the close AM. Examine that back like it owes you money. Get it graded if it looks promising. And remember, treasure doesn't always look like a chest full of gold. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. And hey, if you found this video helpful, fun, or it just made you look at your coin jar with fresh eyes, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and tap that bell so you don't miss out on the next jaw-dropping coin worth money. We've got more insider tips, more real stories, and more laugh-out-loud coin facts coming your way. This is your host, signing off, but before I go, remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, it's worth a fortune. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just make you filthy rich. Now I know what you're thinking, it's a 2021 quarter, big deal, right? Just another shiny coin in the laundry pile or lost in your car's cup holder under old receipts and a half-melted peppermint. Well, hang on to your socks, because this plain old 2021p Washington quarter with the Philadelphia mint mark is actually worth a jaw-dropping $819,000. Yeah, you heard that right, 819. Big ones for a quarter that probably cost the government more to make than it's technically worth. So how on earth does a 25-cent piece turn into a life-changing stack of cash? Stick around, because we're diving into all the juicy details, the errors, the condition, and what exactly makes this coin hotter than a jalapeno in July. And trust me, I've got a hilarious story from last summer about almost spending a coin like this at a vending machine because I thought it looked cool. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump into the world of money hiding in plain sight. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the coin itself. We're looking at the 2021 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint. That's what the P stands for. If you're new to this game, it's part of the America the Beautiful series, which wrapped up in 2021. And let me tell you, this baby went out with a bang. Now, what makes this specific coin worth more than a Tesla Model Y is a combination of things: rarity, condition, and one very juicy error. From the outside, this quarter looks pretty standard. George Washington is doing his usual serious pose on the obverse. The reverse design features the crossing the Delaware scene, which was used after the America the Beautiful series ended in early 2021. But here's the kicker, it's not the design that's valuable, it's the minting errors and extreme condition grading. One of the reasons collectors are going nuts over this coin is because of a rare double die error. That's when the coin gets struck twice with a slight shift, creating a doubling effect on the lettering, especially around the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty." It's subtle, but to a trained eye it's like spotting a unicorn with a mustache. There's also a batch of these 2021p quarters that came out with die chips around the hat and shoulders on Washington's portrait. Some even have what collectors call the drooling George, where it looks like he's got a little drip on his chin from a die break. I know it sounds weird, but weird equals money in the coin world. Now you might be thinking, okay, I've got a 2021 quarter in my car door right now, but hold your horses, cowboy condition is where the big bucks roll. In the quarter that fetched $819,000 was a pristine example, graded MS68 by a top-tier grading service. Mississippi stands for Mint State, and 68 is almost perfect on a scale of 1 to 70. That's like being told you're a 10, but in coin world you're almost an 11. Most quarters out there have dings, scratches, or soda stains from living in your Jeans pocket for 2 years, not these bad boys. The valuable ones are crisp clean and look like they just stepped out of the mint, smelling like fresh copper. So I was cleaning out the cup holder in my car last summer getting ready for a road trip. I was down to my last few coins and figured, hey, I'll grab a soda from the sketchy gas station vending machine, you know, the one that only takes exact change and threatens to eat your quarters for fun. I had a few quarters in my hand and one of them looked real shiny. Thought it looked kinda cool, like it had extra details around the face. I almost popped it in the slot, but something told me hang on, maybe take a closer look. While I took it home, snapped a photo and compared it to some error coins online. Turns out it was a 2021p with a die chip right on Washington's shoulder, not an MS-68, but still worth over $100. All I could think was I almost paid $1.25 for a warm root beer with a coin that could have filled up my gas tank and bought me lunch. So yeah. Lesson learned, always check your coins. Now here's where it gets fun for you. If you want to check your 2021 quarters for treasure, here's what to look for. Flip it under a bright light or use a cheap magnifying glass. Look at the letters, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If they look like they're doubled or a little fuzzy, boom, you might have something. Check around Washington's mouth, shoulders and hairline for any weird raised bumps or extra blobs. These are die breaks or chips. And finally, the overall condition. If your coin looks like it just came out of a coin roll without a scratch on it, you might want to send it in for grading. You can use PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted services. It's like finding gold, but you don't even need a pickaxe, just some eyeballs and patience. Now let's talk money, because you're probably wondering if the 819K coin was a one-hit wonder or if people are still forking over big bucks. As of right now, there are a handful of these quarters floating around in near perfect condition that are consistently selling in the 5 to 6 figure range. No kidding, even a less than perfect example can go for $500 to $3,000 depending on the error and the quality. That's a massive return on 25 cents. That's better odds than the lottery, and you don't even have to leave your house. So what did we learn today? The 2021p Washington quarter is not just some boring coin, it's potentially your ticket to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Coins are real, condition matters, and yes, you might be carrying one of these treasures around in your jeans pocket right now. So next time you get change from the store, don't just toss it in the jar, take a second and check it out. You never know when a tiny coin could become your big payday. And hey, if you love learning how to turn spare change into real money, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss a video. I've got tons more tips coming up on rare coins, coin roll hunting, and coin flips that are worth way more than their face value. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you've got a weird one you want me to look at. I love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time someone hands you a quarter, smile. You might just be holding 819. Hey folks, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you might make you run to the couch cushions, dig through your car's cup holders, or finally go through that piggy bank you've been ignoring since the 90s. Did you know that a regular looking quarter from 2019, yes, 2019, like barely yesterday, could be worth a whopping $522,000? No, I'm not pulling your leg. I'm talking about the 2019p Mint Mark Sun Missions quarter. One single shiny little coin with a big ol' price tag. Now before you go cashing out your kids' lunch money, hang tight. We're going to break it down piece by piece. I'll tell you what this coin is, why it's worth a small fortune, and what to look for. Oh, and I've got a personal story about this coin that still haunts me. Spoiler alert, I had one. So grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and stay tuned, because this is one coin hunt you won't want to miss. Alright, let's rewind to 2019. The US Mint released the American Memorial Park quarter as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. But mixed in with the regular batch was a special edition, the 2019p Sun Missions quarter. This quarter pays tribute to the Sun Missions, a series of space exploration programs. It was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it has that tiny little P mark on the front, right under Washington's chin. And now, at first glance, it doesn't look any different than the average quarter you'd get back in change at a gas station. But here's the catch: certain versions of this coin have what collectors call a rare strike anomaly, which makes them incredibly valuable. We're talking mint errors, misalignments, and some examples even show signs of a double die where the image looks stamped twice. Think of it like the coin equivalent of a misprinted baseball card, but rarer and worth way more. So why on earth would someone pay over $500,000 for a quarter? Great question, and one I asked myself after realizing I once used one of these to buy a Snickers bar. First off, rarity is everything in the coin world. The 2019p Sun Missions quarter has an extremely limited number of these error-affected versions floating around. And I mean extremely limited. We're talking fewer than a dozen that have been verified and graded in mint condition. Collectors go absolutely bonkers for coins like this because they check all the boxes: modern coin, US mint origin, stunning design, low survival rate, and juicy mint errors. Throw in a little mystery and a big OL price tag, and suddenly you've got a coin that's more valuable than a luxury sports car. One of these quarters was auctioned in early 2024 for a jaw-dropping $522,000. That's enough for a down payment on a beach house or maybe even a semi-decent used car in today's market. Coin prices are wild, man. Alright, let's get personal for a minute. About a year ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know the one. Old receipts, expired coupons, maybe an AA battery or 5. I was sorting through loose change and noticed a 2019 P quarter with a weird shimmer on the reverse side. Didn't think much of it. I did one of those casual Google searches. Saw something about it being rare, shrugged, and figured it was probably some coin hoarder hype. So I did what any hungry man would do. I used that quarter to help pay for a cheeseburger combo meal. 2 weeks later, I saw a YouTube video just like this one explaining the Sun Missions quarter, and my soul left my body. I'm not saying I cried, but let's just say my dog avoided eye contact with me for 3 days. Lesson learned: always double check your change before feeding the vending machine. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, alright, how do I find one of these magical coins? Good news, I got you covered. First, look for the 2019 date and the P mint mark that tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Flip it over and check out the reverse side, which features a tribute to the Sun Missions, kind of a cosmic vibe with a background that includes rays and planetary motifs. Now here's where it gets interesting. Look closely for any doubling on the letters or numbers, off-center strikes or blurry details, strange textures or patterns that seem like they don't belong. If you think you found something, don't toss it back in the jar. Take it to a coin shop or send it to be graded by a legit company like PCGS or NGC. And hey, even if it's not the $522,000 version, some of these lower grade oddities still sell for thousands. The Sun Missions quarter isn't the only 2019 coin worth big bucks. There are W mint mark quarters, special low mintage errors, and other quirky oddballs hiding in your change. In fact, there's a whole universe of valuable coins floating around in circulation. Some worth hundreds, others worth thousands, and a few, like this one, worth more than your cousin's motorcycle collection. So make it a habit. Every time you get change, do a quick scan. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's have some fun. If you're just getting into coin hunting, here's a few tips from someone who's been bitten by the bug and burned by the burger. Get yourself a cheap magnifying glass. I mean, unless you have eagle vision, it'll save you a headache. Keep a coin book or app handy so you can ID your finds fast. Clean your coins. A little dirt is good. Clean coins can lose their value faster than a new car driving off the lot. Start a coin jar labeled "Maybe Valuable" so you can build a little treasure pile to review later. Alright folks, we've gone from junk drawer disasters to $500,000 quarters. Hopefully, your eyeballs are now fine-tuned to spot a gem next time you get change at the grocery store. The 2019 P Sun Missions quarter isn't just a neat collector's item. It's a reminder that sometimes the everyday stuff, the stuff we overlook, can be hiding big-time treasures. So next time you hear the jingle of loose change, don't roll your eyes. Roll up your sleeves. Check those coins. Because you might just be holding a piece of history, or at the very least, a future cheeseburger you'll regret. Now, before you go tossing out your spare change or dropping it in the parking meter, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And turn on notifications, because we've got more coin finds, money-making tips, and relatable blunders heading your way every week. You don't want to miss the next one. Who knows? The next $1 million coin could be sitting right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, happy hunting, and remember, always check your quarters. Seriously. Hey, fellas. Before you chuck that pocket change into the soda machine, listen up, you might be sitting on a small fortune. That's right, I'm talking nearly $800,000 from one single 1967 no mint mark Washington quarter. Yep. Just one. Not. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no way a regular OL quarter can be worth more than my car, my wife's car, and my golf cart combined. But oh yes, it can. And in the next 50 minutes, I'm gonna tell you exactly why that quarter might just change your life. So grab your coin jars, call up your grandpa, and get comfortable. This is gonna be good. The summer of silver confusion. Let's kick it back to 1967. Bell bottoms were huge. Elvis was still alive. Gas was 30 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was up to something sneaky. After 1964, the Mint removed silver from our beloved quarters and switched to a copper-nickel clad version. But during this transition, there were all sorts of weird little mix-ups. Some coins were struck on the wrong planchets. Some were struck with older dies. Others just didn't get that precious little mint mark. And boom, just like that, a handful of quarters became treasure. Now here's the kicker: quarters from 1967 weren't supposed to have a mint mark at all. The government actually removed mint marks between 1965 and 1967 to stop people from hoarding coins from specific mints. But that doesn't mean every no mint mark quarter is worth money. Oh no, we're looking for the unicorns. The weirdos. The errors. The freaks of the coin world, and that, my friends, brings us to the legend, the $782,000 1967 Washington quarter. Well, let me break it down like a middle-aged dad trying to explain TikTok. This quarter is valuable for three major reasons. This specific quarter was struck on a silver planchet, when it wasn't supposed to be. See, silver was phased out after 1964. But sometimes, leftover silver blanks from earlier years got mixed in. And when that happened, a few 1967 quarters were struck on them. Oopsie, this baby wasn't tossed in a sock drawer. Oh no. It was found in pristine, mint state condition. We're talking bright luster, sharp strike, not a scratch on Washington's face. Basically, it looks like George just had a facial. Collectors love mistakes. It's the only place in life where errors make you rich instead of unemployed. This particular quarter had a double die obverse and was struck on the wrong planchet. That combo? Like winning the lottery while getting struck by lightning. Rare, shocking, and weirdly valuable. A few years ago, I'm at my buddy Dave's place, helping him move. We're packing up his junk drawer, you know, the one with dead batteries, pizza coupons from 2009, and like $6 in loose change. I spot a quarter with this weird, dull color. It just looked off. So I say, Dave, you mind if I keep this? He shrugs. It's a quarter, man. Go nuts. I take it home, toss it in a plastic baggie, and forget about it for a year. One rainy Saturday, I'm cleaning out my sock drawer, find the quarter again, and think, why not look it up? Turns out it was a 1965 silver transitional error quarter worth $500. 500. From a junk drawer. Always trust your gut, and never underestimate ugly quarters. A regular 1967 quarter will have a copper-colored edge. If yours looks all silver, with no copper stripe, get excited. It may have been struck on a silver planchet. A normal 1967 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If yours is closer to 6.25 grams, you might have a silver planchet. Grab a digital scale from Amazon. $20 can make you hundreds of thousands. Weak or missing details? All of these can drive up the value. Remember, imperfections are perfection in the coin world. If you think you've got a good one, don't clean it. For the love of coin collecting, don't scrub it with toothpaste. You'll destroy the value. Just place it in a soft holder and send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. As of now, that legendary 1967 no mint mark quarter with the silver planchet in error details sold for $782,000 at auction. Not a rumor. Not a scam. Cold, hard, shiny cash. Other 1967 quarters with lesser errors have gone for $1,000 to $10,000, depending on the grade and rarity. Folks, the market for error coins is hot. Collectors are hungry. And you don't have to be Indiana Jones to find treasure. Just dig through your couch cushions, look anywhere you find spare change. I'm serious. Parking meters, vending machines, drive-through trays, Coinstar reject slots, your grandma's coin purse, that old Folgers can your uncle keeps in his garage. Go to local coin shows. Join Facebook coin groups. Swap stories, compare finds, and stay connected. You'd be amazed at what people overlook right now. Sitting in your car's cup holder or that drawer you never clean out could be a quarter that's worth more than most people's annual salary. Are you gonna check it? Because listen, I'm just a regular guy who likes pocket change and gas station coffee. If I can find a $500 quarter, you can absolutely find one worth $782,000. So next time someone laughs at you for picking up a coin off the ground, just smile. Because you might just be one quarter away from flipping your fortune. If you enjoyed hanging out, learning something new, or just love the idea of treasure hunting without the pirates and eye patches, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like, share it with your coin-loving cousin, and ring the bell so you never miss a tip on coins worth serious money. We've got stories, strategies, and secrets the mint doesn't want you to know, all coming your way. Till next, if you've ever thought the change rattling around in your junk drawer was just clutter, today might blow your mind. I'm talking about a 2015 Kissachi quarter with no mint mark that's making headlines, and wallets, with a jaw-dropping value of $611,000. Yep, you heard that right. Over $500,000 from a 25-cent coin.so. Before you skip to your next snack break or go scrolling past like this is just another internet rabbit hole, hold up. That little quarter could change your life. In today's video, we're going deep on what makes this coin so special, how you might already own one, and a little personal story about how I learned, the hard way, never to underestimate pocket change. You grab your magnifying glass, maybe a flashlight, and definitely that old jar of coins you've been ignoring since 2003. Let's dive in. Let's set the scene. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released a quarter honoring Kissachi National Forest in Louisiana. If you've never been, imagine trees for days, majestic longleaf pines, and the kind of quiet where you hear your own thoughts. Terrifying, I know. This coin was part of the America the Beautiful series, which started in 2010 and ran through 2021, featuring parks and historic sites across the U.S., but what makes this coin special isn't just the design. It's the absence of a mint mark. Most of these were struck in Philadelphia and had a little P on the front, or in Denver with a D. But the version without any mint mark? That's the unicorn. The anomaly. The needle in the haystack that's apparently worth $611,000. Let's break it down. The no mint mark version of the Kissachi quarter is what collectors call an error coin. It slipped through the cracks at the mint. A rogue coin. A rebel. No mint mark, limited quantity, high demand, that's the golden triangle of coin collecting. Now combine that with a growing number of collectors and you've got the perfect storm. There's only a tiny handful of these known to exist, and when they do show up, they send the coin world into a frenzy faster than my dog chasing the ice cream truck. A pristine, professionally graded specimen that fetched $611,000 at auction. That's right. Someone dropped the price of a house, or 2 Teslas, on a single quarter. First, grab a 2015 Kissachi quarter. Flip it over, there's a wild turkey flying through the pine trees. Pretty majestic for government-issued currency, right? Now check the front. Look under "In God We Trust" on the right side of George Washington's ponytail. If there's a P or a D, sorry buddy, you've got a regular quarter. Still spendable, still beautiful, but not life-changing. Condition matters too. A coin that's been through the wash 3 times and chewed on by a toddler probably isn't fetching 6 figures. But even a slightly worn one could still be worth something if it's rare enough. Now, let me tell you a little story that still haunts me like a dryer without a lint trap. Back in 2020, during the great quarantine coin cleaning phase, you know, that moment when we all decided to become armchair numismatists, I found a stack of 2015 quarters. I was flipping through them while binge-watching reruns of Pawn Stars and munching on some stale pretzels. Real glamorous evening, and there it was. A shiny Kissachi quarter. No mint mark. I remember thinking, that's weird. Must be a printing error. But instead of checking it out, I tossed it back in the jar and moved on to what I thought was a more promising 1982 penny. A week later, I needed quarters for laundry and yep. I took that same jar to the coin machine at the gas station. Kissed that potential 6-figure coin goodbye for a spin cycle and a pack of gum. Fast forward a few months, I read about the no mint mark Kissachi selling for hundreds of thousands. I nearly fell out of my chair. My dog looked at me like I'd just found out Santa wasn't real. Learn from me. Don't do laundry with mystery quarters. Ever why collectors love these error coins? Part of what makes coins like the Kissachi quarter so exciting is the thrill of the hunt. Error coins are like Easter eggs hidden in plain sight. And collectors? Oh, they eat this stuff up. It's like Pokemon for grown-ups, except instead of Pikachu, you're chasing presidential profiles and wild turkeys. They love the story, the scarcity, and the bragging rights. Owning a coin like this is like finding Bigfoot and getting him to sign a selfie. Rare. Legendary. And extremely valuable. If you think you have one of these bad boys, first, don't freak out. Second, do not clean it. Seriously. Cleaning coins is like washing a Rembrandt with Windex. Just don't take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it in to get professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the big names. Once graded, you can either stash it like Gollum's ring or list it at a major auction house. Just make sure you know what it's worth before someone lowballs you with an offer that won't even buy lunch at Arby's. Alright, let's wrap this section with a few pro tips for finding gems like the Kisatchie quarter in your own collection. Check your change daily. Your wallet could be your next goldmine. Know your key dates. 2015 Kisatchie, 1965 quarters, 1982 pennies. These are hot. Use a magnifying glass. The devil's in the details, and so is the dollar. Keep coins separate. Start a special box just for suspects of follow coin forums. The coin community loves to share finds, and sometimes even trade. Alright, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and accidental millionaires, that's a wrap on the mysterious and magnificent 2015 no mint mark Kisatchie quarter. Who would have thought a wild turkey flying across some trees could be worth more than my first car? Remember, not every quarter is just 25 cents. Sometimes, it's a hidden gem that could flip your finances and make you the hero of your own treasure hunting story. And if you enjoyed this little coin caper, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got loads more tips, stories, and money-making coin strategies coming your way. Whether you're looking to cash in, collect, or just avoid turning a six-figure quarter into laundry money like I did, this is the place for you. Smash the like button, share it with a friend who still thinks coins are boring, and tell me in the comments, have you ever found something crazy in your change? Until next time, keep your eyes on your coins.